Wrestling Talk discussion. This is Irrational Wrestling Mark YouTube channel, also known as Irrational Wrestling Viewer. I'm going to be talking about the recent CM Punk ESPN interview that he did. More specifically, I'm going to be discussing the part where he talks about Adam Page, Hangman Adam Page, his match with him at Double or Nothing, and the part where he goes off script and shoots on Punk. Punk doesn't know about it and talks about how Adam Page, basically chopped him in the mouth, right? An unplanned part of the match where he just, he basically shooted on him. So I want to read this part of the article that's posted. It's part of the interview. And Punk says, and I proceed to have what I think is a garbage match because I'm trying to protect myself on stuff instead of actually just working and trying to put on the best performance I can. Punk said, I'm keeping an eye out. I'm keeping an eye out. He chopped me in the mouth one time. I'm just like, okay, did you do that on purpose? You chipped my tooth, and I'm like, all right, should I give him a receipt? It changes the dynamic. It poisoned everything for me, and it made it all really, really ugly. And that was what set all this off. And here we are over a year later, and ain't SHIT been done about it. So yeah, if you remember the match, part of the match where Adam Page sithed Punk in the mouth, and we're thinking, okay, well, that was definitely not part of the match, and Punk didn't know that was going to happen, right? Because when it comes to a wrestling match, it's predetermined. The wrestlers are backstage discussing the match, discussing what's going to be done in the match. Okay, what moves, what spots are going to be done. They talk it over before they go out there. They go over the spots and they just call it. But you could tell that there is definitely some beef between Hangman Adam Page and CM Punk. And obviously that beef stems from allegedly Punk being the one that got Colt Cabana released from AEW or fired, which I don't think is true. Why would Punk have that much power to where he can get somebody fired from a job? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. We don't know why, and I'm going to get to the part where he shoots on him in the promo, which is the promo leading up to their Double or Nothing match from last year. And now Page's comments during the segment, a shoot in wrestling terms, meaning not a planned part of the show, infuriated Punk so much that he considered not going through with the match out of concern that Page might intentionally attempt to hurt him. But Punk did go through with it and was booked to beat Page to win the AEW title on May 29, 2022. So if you go back to watch that promo, the part where he said, I am defending AEW All Elite Wrestling from you. And, you're probably thinking, well, why would a babyface need to be saying that to another babyface? I'm going to be defending All Elite Wrestling from you. You would say that to a heel. You would say that to someone that, I don't know, in storyline context would be a threat to, I guess, take over the company and someone that's an outsider, someone that is, hasn't been with AEW since day one, I guess that's what he would mean to someone that is trying to take his spot, someone that's trying to, I don't know. It just, when I watched that promo, it didn't make any sense as to why he would say, I'm defending AEW from you. Like, what is there to defend except your title? But that line just didn't make any sense. And it was definitely a shoot that Punk wasn't expecting. Punk wasn't expecting Hangman Page to say that. But it had really nothing to do with their match. So, and that was also very unprofessional, because if you're going to get a line in like that, you would let the person you're doing the promo with, you would let them know before you guys go out there to get the A-OK. Right? I mean, that's the professional way to do things. You don't just go out there and then completely go off script. You say you're going to do something backstage, but when you go out to the ring, you do something completely different. And you throw everybody off. And this definitely threw Punk off. You can tell. If you look at his facial expressions, you can definitely tell it left Punk like, what the hell? What the hell are you doing, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? It left him very confused. So there was definitely some animosity, maybe some professional jealousy, who knows. But out of the entire interview, Punk did apologize to Tony Khan about his, about the media scrum, how he handled the situation with the Elite and Hangman Adam Page. And he says, he went about it the wrong way. That if he could go back in time, he could do things a little bit differently. But in the heat of the moment, it got ugly, and said some things that he could possibly take back. Right? He couldn't control what was going to come out of his mouth because he was so heated and pissed off, rightfully so. Punk is just trying to do business, and let's not forget, like, this is also Punk's fault, right? He's the one that started this whole thing and made it public, right? He's the one that escalated things at the media scrum. But we cannot say that the Elite and Hangman and Page had nothing to do with what has been happening, right? They're part of the drama as well. They're part of the problem. They have also are to blame for what's been going down, as well as Tony Khan for not being a leader in this situation and setting things right. This is your locker room. This is your company. You are the boss. You're the one paying everybody. Okay? You call the shots. You got to have a control over your talent and set order. If there's no order being set, then it's going to be the Wild West in the locker room, and we don't want that to happen. So many fights have broken out in the AEW locker room last year, and that's uncalled for. It's unprofessional, and we can definitely agree that Hangman Adam Page was being unprofessional. So Punk did apologize. He made things right. He took accountability for his mistakes. And that's it. Done. But now it's Adam Page that owes Punk an apology. I believe Hangman Adam Page deserves should give Punk an apology. Now, we get it. Sometimes in the matches, you just stiff your opponent, right? And things become so tense in the match to where, you know, if you get punched in the face, you get punched in the face. It is what it is. If you get kicked a lot harder than anticipated, it is what it is. But to chop somebody in the mouth, I can understand him chopping in the chest very, very hard. But in the mouth, it's like, if you're going to chop somebody, you don't chop them in the mouth. You don't chop them. You chop them on the chest, because that's, you know, that's the normal thing to do in a wrestling match when you go to chop somebody. But to chop somebody in the mouth, it's very unwarranted. You know what I'm saying? So that was just that was just uncalled for. And then going off script and not letting Punk know ahead of time of what he was going to say out there. Saying that he's going to do this, and then you go out to the ring and do something completely different. You go into business for yourself. You know, that's being a selfish worker, in my opinion. Because making a wrestling feud work, a match, it's a team effort, it's teamwork. You know, it's not just one person that makes it happen. It's a combination of everybody else. So you going into business for yourself is just plain out selfish. You know what I'm saying? So Hangman Adam Page should apologize to Punk for being unprofessional and really having beef with Punk for no reason. Now we get it. CM Punk has had a history of being difficult to work with in the past. There's no question about that. But we have to also look at, you know, Punk being accountable, him apologizing. When this whole media scrum took place, everybody wanted to jump down Punk's throat. Rightfully so, because he made the company look bad, gave the company a bad image. So he deserved some vitriol. But a lot of people, since that whole thing happened, they have ignored what Hangman Page has done and what the Elite has done. They're ignoring the fact that they're just as much as part of the problem as Punk was and Tony Khan. But we're just going to blame Punk because that's the go-to thing to do, right? That's the go-to move. Punk has a history of being like this, but see, it was not at that level that we saw at the media scrum. It was just a combination of things building up, and he had enough. And it was warranted, but it was just the way he went about it. And he felt like nothing was being done about what was happening behind the scenes. So he just had enough. And then, of course, he tore his pec after winning the AEW title at All Out. So you knew that had to be bothering him because he knew he had just injured himself again. So, I mean, if you're in CM Punk's position, I'm pretty sure you would be pissed off too. If you just won the world title and you had gotten injured a second time after winning it, and now you know you're going to be out of action for like 9 to 10 months. I need surgery. Can I do this ever again? Can I wrestle another match ever again? That's all going through your mind. So that messes with you mentally and psychologically. And then you also have this drama going on backstage. with the Elite, Hangman Page, and it's like it's just getting to you. It's all building up, and you have no choice but to lose your cool. So, but all that matters is that Punk apologized to Tony Khan. He made an apology, held himself accountable. Now it's time for Hangman Page to apologize to Punk, like a man. Don't do it in an interview. I would have Hangman Adam Page should apologize to Punk in person, in my opinion. He should apologize in person. Be a man, own up to your mistakes, and just hash it out. Because at the end of the day, this whole beef is completely pointless. But we can definitely turn this backstage beef into a actual feud. And it's going to sell tickets. It's going to do big numbers. I mean, who doesn't want to see CM Punk feud with the Elite? Obviously, FTR will get involved. And to go head-to-head with Kenny Omega and the Bucks at some point. But that's a match that needs to happen at some point in the future. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole ESPN article of CM Punk. I just want to specifically talk about the part where his beef with Hangman Adam Page, and Hangman Adam Page going into business for himself and stiffing Punk. He owes him an apology, point blank. And let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Do you think Hangman Adam Page should apologize to Punk for his actions? Punk apologized. So it's time for Hangman Page to be accountable. So let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. This is the Rational Wrestling Mark, and the Rational Wrestling viewer. Like the video for the algorithm. Subscribe today for more content. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.